What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the debut album by rapper Juicy J of 36 Mafia. Basically, this product is called Chronicles of the Juice Man. Basically, this product is called Chronicles of the Juice Man, and it came out in the summer of 2002. Now, I have a little bit of backdrop of this particular album here. The library used to have this particular album. I remember fucking with it back in the day as far as this pitch can happen. Now, I knew about it before those particular times of the library back in 2015, but this was an album in the initial days of Acid Roots I was going to review back in like August, September 2015, so pretty much approximately 10 years ago within the pitch behind it, but I just never got around to it, or I did get around to it, but I was going to give it like a bad score. That's what particularly happened. I remember listening to this product and really not enjoying it as much full bound. I felt like the production there was just not as ferocious. Really, out of the 12 songs that are on this album, it kind of went through a reshifting as far as what's supposed to happen. There's like 3 songs on here, Like a Pimp, Smoke That Weed, and Name It After Me, that were axed from this because I think because of clearance or something like that. But on Spotify it has a shorter edition, but the original edition had 12 songs. Out of those 12, I wound up recommending 11, so this album's going to get a 10 out of 10, which is a far cry from what I was going to give it. I think I even have like a standalone vlog pitch like that, just kind of an extra video that's in like the extra videos playlist pitches like that talked about some reviews that I canceled, that I scrapped, that were going to happen but didn't. Back in 2015, I probably would have given this album like a 3 or 4, maybe even lower than that out of 10 as far as this pitch can happen. Now, obviously, my tastes have rapidly improved, especially since 2015 or 2016. Back in those days, I'd say anything prior. I'd probably say most reviews prior to about 2022 or 2023 just have a complete different mind shift in terms of like the pace of how some of that pacing would have particularly kind of went. There's even ones like one of which I gave Ludacris's Chicken and Beer a pretty low score back in late 2022, and I reviewed that, and I was doing those reviews almost daily back in those days, but the pitch behind it, nowadays I think there'd probably be a few more songs I connect with. I realize it's kind of here and there within the pitch. I realize that I do like Red Light District and Release Therapy, some of those type of albums better by Ludacris, but just kind of within the pitch. I mean, what the point I'm trying to prove is just being able to say that my tastes have obviously improved within the pitch behind it, considering the factoid that I was going to give this album probably like less than a 3 or 4 out of 10, and now it's going to get like a clean sweep of a 10 out of 10. So I just look within the pitch as far as saying just a direct kind of 180 as far as this pitch can have, and definitely this is another blistering one. I've given most of Juicy J's albums that are solo pretty much 10s out of 10. I think every single one I've given a 10 out of 10, at least up to 2017. Hustle Till I Die from 2009 got a 10. Stay Trippy from 2013 got a 10, and then like Rubber Band Business from 2017, which I reviewed back in September, got a 10 out of 10. So it's pretty vicious type, usual palette from Juicy J, and this is another nice one within those pitches, despite the fact that it came out a full 7 years before Hustle Till I Die, when he was more in his feral type aspect. So this particular album is kind of horrorcore within a sense. It's kind of like this particular album is more of like a sub-venture to 36 Mafia around this time, because back in those days, Juicy J was probably not going to leave. Back in like the early 2000s, Juicy J was not about to leave 36 Mafia within those particular affairs, so this is still amidst some of those styles when you think of songs like Who Run It, and like North North, the song by Project Pat, some of those type pitches, some of those type songs, and Ride and Spinner, some of those type pitches, Rainbow Color, some of these type fares. It's just pretty much like a sub-venture to 36 Mafia, and like When the Smoke Clears, and then the Unbreakables days from 2000 and 2003, some of those type fares within it, with traces of also choices to the setup from 2005, even though this was 3 years before that. So it's just excellent type pitch, very vicious type appeals within this aspect. I would definitely recommend tracking down the album that's not the revised edition, because there was one that ripped like a Linkin Park song, which is pretty excellent. That Smoke That Weed, real vicious type song. That was the song I liked back in 2015, but it's within pitch. I still like it now, so I definitely track down the older version. Also, Like a Pimp, the song Like a Pimp with the Chat is like a remix to a UGK song, which I don't know why that one didn't get. I don't know why that one got the axe as far as what's first going to happen. And then Name It After Me / the outro. I don't know where this song was particularly ripped from, but it is a pretty good smoke-centric type one, just to really be dazed as hell and kind of have a cruise around as far as what's first going to happen. So definite excellent type fare, and like the DJ drama mixtape type days with the pitch behind it. So excellence there. But just look after within the pitch. So this album, pretty much, this album is a classic. Just being able to say, it's just another stock one. Juicy J continues that format. Just the pitch behind this, all these vicious type ones. It just kind of does it in a more kind of just not as central type format. I'm not sure if there was a single. If there was, I'm assuming it's North North Part 2. It's just within the pitch. You get the Tibble strengths of 36 Mafia, the snack run songs, the horrorcore, the venue crunk type turn up moments, some of those type pitches, the smoking songs, the kind of slob on my knob type songs, pitches like that, some of those particular type fares. It's the Tibble type format of 36 as to how that particular goes. This Juicy J having like the solo spotlight and testing the waters as far as those pitches have, which definitely has some blistering type appeal. He probably could have went solo. I'm definitely glad that we got more 3-6 Mafia albums throughout the 2000s, but it's just excellent type pitch. It's like a primer. I'd probably say for casual folks that don't know is full bound about Juicy J, it's kind of the pitch that this is kind of a little bit more of an awkward kind of starting point. I mean, if you don't know about like 90s and 2000s 3-6 Mafia, this is a more awkward type one to fuck with, just because Juicy J in the late 2000s and 2010s was just a lot more vicious. Just had those more feral turn up type songs, a little bit crazier. It's not that he's not crazy here, but it's just kind of with the pitch. It's just more rooted in 2000 type styles. And I mean, for folks that remember 1995 Mystic Styles and the Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 Domination, some of those type ones, Crazy in the Last Days, some of those type pitches within the format, this is right up that alley. Real rooted in like early 2003 6 Mafia, moreover, but it's just kind of the pitch that just has like, it's just moreover that the gloss factor is just more like now seemingly retro compared to the viciousness that Juicy J pumps out. It's just not going to be ratchet. It's not going to be trap. It's not going to be horrorcore to like the evil kind of viciousness that he was on Hustle Till I Die and Rubber Band Business, some of those type pitches, but definitely more Hustle Till I Die. Hustle Till I Die is a vicious classic just because that really is like the almost decaying aspect of getting tore up to a full extent within house party type of feel. But this particular one, just a little bit more amidst the night venue. This one's just a little bit more social than Hustle Till I Die. Was just kind of the pitch as far as saying just more kind of like a spin off of like similar styles like Lil White and Project Pat, some of those type folks with the pitch behind it. So a good type pitch for it. Yeah, I recommend every song off this album. I recommend every song off this album with the exception of the song Buck Gangsta Beat. So the thing about that particular song is just the pitch as far as saying that the beat composition, this was trying to be like an instrumental type one to really get crunk and dance to as far as this pitch can happen, but just the beat arrangements on here just kind of were slot fest that didn't really have anything engaging within the pitch behind it. It was just kind of one that just didn't have as much kind of tone within the aspect of really being as full bound kind of compelling. I mean, I think like there are a series of instrumentals on here. Both Soldiers from the North Side and Dick Suckin' Hoes are also like that as well. This is actually a rather short album with songs that feature Juicy J. Even Gimme Some does not really have Juicy J on there as far as this pitch can happen, but Buck Gangsta Beat was just kind of a poor kind of revved up type song that just didn't nail the appeal of it, but that's the only real one. So this album gets a 10 out of 10. It's Beyonce North North Part 2. I'm not as full bound sure if this was a single, but it's within the pitch. This is the most popular song according to Spotify. This one has over 1 million plays. It's like a super rave kind of night activity kind of get here, just dramatic kind of vintage 3-6 car. The song is definitely like some dramatic kind of vintage 3-6 carnage as far as this pitch can have. A great song to smoke to. It's a typical type format sort of stuff that just has that bravado. It's just the typical type format that has that usual fare of 3-6 Mafia and Project Pat type terror within the pitch behind it. This is something Project Pat is very lightly on this product. He did go to prison about the spring or summer or so 2002 within those pitches, and he was in prison until like the end of 2005. Was this within the pitch as far as saying, considering for folks who don't know, Project Pat is Juicy J's brother. Was within the pitch as far as saying that this is the aspect that has some relative taste of particular good fare. It was some good taste of relative particular good fare just because Project Pat was really trying to blow up between 2000, 2001, 2002. So he kind of got his career curbed for a little bit just within the pitch because he was actually getting decent spin-off hits outside of 3-6 Mafia in the early 2000s. But it's a good type pitch. This is one that's just vintage. Like when you think of 3-6, or when you think of Project Pat's, pretty similar to when you think of Project Pat's Crook by the Book from 2006, some of those type pitches. So pretty similar to that. Just very like this dramatic kind of paranoia, this real rave. This kind of feels like a dramatic type fashion. This is real frenetic and this kind of beside. This is real frenetic and kind of beside itself with like the Nightcomers. It's great for local snack runs, pitches like that. Good type fare. The Axe song from this album, Smoke That Weed's a real nice one. It's like a syrupy kind of head trip malaise kind of get here. Just a great Linkin Park rip, and that particular song that it rips it from is In the End by Linkin Park. Obviously like a top 2 single, real excellent beat, continues to be to this day. It's like some excellent local fests kind of get here. So it's just good type pitch for that. Juicy J flips into like a real excellent smoking song. Juicy J flips into a real excellent smoking song, and the pitch behind it is the fact that basically Lord Infamous, who unfortunately is deceased, is on this song as well. It's pretty excellent type fare to get this particular one. He has pretty good, like the verse switches to like a real dazed out kind of verse, real dark and malaise within the pitch when he gets to Lord Infamous's verse. So it's excellent type fare on top of that. It really nails the appeal, excellent type fare for that. Another Axe song like a Pimp is a quality ones, like a golden kind of lazy day car surfing of a song kind of get here, just cruise rounds in basic sense, just basic outing run pitches like that, just errands and snackage, some of those type pitches kind of happen. This is just a good song to burn to on the go as far as this pitch can happen. By burn, I mean toke some of those type pitches within it. Good type aspect. I want to say this was a song, I don't remember which particular song, it might have been actually called Like a Pimp. I don't know if it was on UGK's 2001 album Dirty Money, some of those type pitches, but it's a song that UGK had particularly kind of did, so it's just that same sort sort of surf disc, Cadillac surf pitches like that, truck surfing, some of those particular type fares that just cruise around some like the lazy kind of summer days. One of the few songs that kind of feels more summer oriented. Most of this album is not as summer. This is actually more autumn bound within the pitch, but this is just one for like that relative kind of lazy kind of cruise arounds. Another one that has like some relative kind of outstep within the pitch, and just more out and about, just not in like night type fare, would be Soldiers from the North Side. There's like a dreary kind of evening patterns kind of get here, just drift. Soldiers from the North Side is like a dreary kind of evening patterns kind of get within these aspects. This Tibble kind of runs at this places to go, pitches like that, just on foot, some of those type fares. Good song to drift, just easy toke, pitches like that. Grab some bugles, some Chex Mix, some of those type fares that I'd say. Good song to gab to, just with nearby folk as far as those pitch can happen. Just kind of mildly social within the pitch behind it. This kind of one that's like the least amount of carnivorous within this particular product. Just kind of the concept of this. It's kind of out and about and usual type day fare. I mean, it feels a little slummish within the pitch, but it's just kind of the concept of just in-between type moments. But it's like the overall fatigue in the days of Soldiers from the North Side. Just real nice one. Just relative, not so much commercial, but just kind of work shit. Just kind of, not so much commercial, but just kind of work shift centric within the pitch behind. It's kind of the dredge of it. I'd say Dick Suckin' Hose is a nice one on here. It's another instrumental. Juicy J and folks are not on here, but it's a nice one. It's not much song, but it's a good shindig kind of white noise. I'd say within the pitch behind it. Just reminds of like a little white type hop within the pitch behind it. Just kind of has like some relative kind of dance type turn up within the pitch. Just get the asses shaking, some of that torque fest type pitch within the tone behind it. A little bit of a spicy type one just within the pitch. A little bit more usual energy than Juicy J particularly had around this time. So it's kind of the pitch that it kind of almost feels like a minor strip club song, but just more in like a house party type appeal, where it's just more localized type fare within the pitch behind. But it is a pretty good frenetic type one that probably could have been flipped into like a pretty good typical kind of 3-6 Mafia song in like a more vanilla sense, had it just had a little bit more, had it had some lyrics on there and pitches like that. But it just works for what it is, this house party white noise pitches like that, good type fare. Give Me Some is another type song that does not have Juicy J on here, but it does have Le Chat and it does have Frazier Boy. So Frazier Boy's on here a number of times, Le Chat's on here a number of times. This is back when 3-6 Mafia pretty much almost full bound had the full posse within the pitch, minus maybe Gangsta Boo was just within the pitch as far as, and it's good type tone. So Give Me Some's like a feral and snaring kind of house party enjoy to kind of get here. Further ones like that, like Dick Suckin' Hose. Further ones like that, like Dick Suckin' Hose. Some of those type pitches I'd say good to enjoy with that. Goes great with Rainbow Colors, I'd say here. Probably one of the most slogged ones off this product. Just a real nice one to get tore up to, especially with juggalettes and bells. As far as those pitches can happen, darker bells within some of those type formats, just good. If you think of Chicas, who would probably say smoke this fool pitches like that. Some of those type fares within the pitch behind is just good type fare for that relative juggalette type aspect. Good song for Hella Smoke as far as those aspects can happen. And not complain whatsoever within the fair bells who say fool and pitches like that. But it's just kind of the more format for just more low key type bells within pitch, normal smokers within pitches like that. It's an aspect, folks who would pretty much know the lingo for 3-6 Mafia on a usual basis in the pitch behind it. So there's not much commercial fare about this product. I'd probably say apart from maybe Like a Pimp, which is not on the newer edition. And then that's probably about the closest thing to like a commercial song on here, unless folks are gonna take like Smoke That Weed, which is a Linkin Park flip. But even that one's just more, this is not much of like a public relations kind of commercial breakthrough. So this is this is kind of more retro hardcore type days for Juicy J's, this within pitch. But I'd say maybe Name It After Me is like a decent one that attempts that in like a relative kind of cruise around type fare. But for the most part, I'd say the pitch behind this is pretty hardcore within the pitch. But yeah, this Bells and Starless, the more smoking oriented within pitch, good type tone for that. Speaking of Name It After Me, this is a vicious type one here. It's like a syrupy and lofty kind of cruise around, and I had to say just like UGK, but just hella stoned. This is like UGK, but just hella stoned within the pitch behind it. A little bit more warped, I feel like, at least. Like a Pimp has some relative day fare where maybe you're getting some errands done pitches like that, but this is a particular one where this is really dreared out within the pitch behind a good concept for that, and it's like very mixtape-ish. Feels like an early rendition of like a song like International Players Anthem, one of those songs that had UGK and Outkast on there, some of those type pitches, that same sort of soulful sample flip that goes along with this like real melted kind of car surfing pitches like that, some of those type formats. So this really feels like something Bun B, Pimp C should have been on around those pitches. Pretty good concept to get that relative Traverse type tune from Juicy J as far as those formats kind of happen. Then Gimme Head is a quality one as well. It's like a snappy kind of dark venue noise kind of get here. This vintage kind of early 2000s 3-6 that I'd say within the pitch behind it. This Tibble kind of loud pack fun within the fare behind. So this Tibble aspect here is one of those type ones. These particular last songs I'm getting to here, Gimme Head, Who the Buckus, and Kill a Clan are definitely some of the more vicious type ones. It's the aspect of like the sheer kind of carnivorous type tone. And maybe Mafia News, I don't think I've talked about that one either. But just be able to say Get Me Head is similar to the song Squeeze It off of Choices 2, the setup as far as those pitch can happen. You've heard 36 Mafia beats like this. If you remember their albums from like the early 2000s, probably between 2000 and 2005, some of those type ones, like Who Run It, some of those particular type fairs, that same sort of kind of frenetic and like a dance venue type sense, thump within the pitch where, really getting to dance hops pitches like that, just some good ass shakers within pitches like that, good type tune. Who the Buckus is a nice one. The trio songs here, Who the Buckus, Killer Clan and Mafia niggas are just a good feral typeness for like the typical kind of carnage that goes out with like venue type craze. Some of these are Dracula oriented. Some of these are Dracula oriented as well. But Who the Buckus is like a stock 3/6 kind of ballistics kind of get here. Just another highlight for nightclub hell within the pitch behind a great song to get crunk to. So just taking like a 3/6 Mafia album, then just having Juicy J on here. But most of these, pretty much every song on here that's not an instrumental has other folks on here as far as those pitch kind of albums. So it's just good aspect to be able to get this tone. It's just basically like more of like a 3/6 Mafia kind of compilation album more so than anything else. But it is excellent type pitch to kind of get this Juicy J type fair. So it's excellent type pitch for that. This real carnivorous type one with an aspect here, just some real craziness. Who the Buckus, just typical stock type fashion like Project Pat, Lil White, DJ Paul, some of these type folks, Crunchy Black folks like that as far as those first can happen. Lord Infamous, just have to say here. Kill Clan is a nice one. It's like a hella warped and shifting kind of demon hours kind of get within these aspects. This tasty kind of horrific Dracula at night that I had to say within the tone behind it. Pretty dim type song within the pitch. So just further type aspects here. Just typical kind of 3/6 Mafia carnage. Good type pitch for some of that type fare. Just usual type fare. These are pretty easy to swap out within the pitch behind. If you like albums by 3/6 Mafia, like The Unbreakables, which is a real classic, and then When the Smoke Clears, which I reviewed back in 2015, but I'd probably give that like a 10 out of 10 nowadays. Probably even Choices, the album, which I haven't gotten to yet from 2001, some of those type pitches, just same typical type fare. Choices to the setup, definitely, so it's a good type pitch for some of that. It's 3/6 Mafia, Juicy J and their primes, further type hits within the aspect. Great songs to smoke to. Kill Clan's real nice one. Then Mafia Niggas is a real nice one as well. Now this one's pretty warped within the pitch, real nice one. Definitely a good chunk of this album's good to be stoned as hell to and just have the commerce and just out and about with it. This is smokage type fare, but it's not just sit on the couch, watch television type smoke. It's just within the pitch as far as saying there are some moments, but a lot of this is just the festivity of smoking, but then also having the commotion about it as far as those fares going to go. Now this is a pretty big song, Mafia Niggas. This is a 3/6 Mafia Posse song that I did enjoy. In certain senses, there have been ones in the past that I haven't enjoyed. That's usually one of the songs I usually don't pick out for like the lot as far as those pitch guys. Usually those posse songs are the ones that I don't pick for like the lot of songs I recommend, but this one particularly nailed it. It does have DJ Paul on here, which is pretty awesome. It has Lord Infamous, has Crunchy Black, has Frazier Boy, pitches like that. Even LeChat's on here, so basically all the folks that were on here before. It's too bad that DJ Paul wasn't on this record more, but he's typically teamed up with Juicy J quite a bit, so it's just one pitch. But yeah, Mafia Niggas like an upside down kind of local commerce kind of get. Definite homies, some of that type fare. Smoke with pals, some of those type pitches. Arby's run, I'd say within the pitch. Usually I say Taco Bell run, but just other. Usually I say Taco Bell run within the pitch, but definite Arby's run type fare. Just other spots to kind of hit up pitches like that. Just night type pitches. Grandiose type smoke up type tune kind of get within those aspects. Just typical social product of like the city traverse pitch like that. And it's a good song to night weave within the neighborhood as far as those pitch can have. So good aspect. Good type further 3/6 product as far as those pitch can happen. So that's the aspect here. It says Allen gets a 10 out of 10 within the pitch behind it. This would say Social Score. I'm probably going to give a 10 out of 10 as well. I know it's kind of within the conduct. I realized that this album did not have a single. I also said within the aspect. That it does have a learning curve, but I feel like the vicious quality of this project, considering the fact that it was the first album within the pitch as far as being like a spin-off within the format of just nailing 3/6 strengths. I feel like for like the Juggalo community, I feel like the underground community, folks at 3/6 Mafia, Southern hip hop, some of these type pitches, it just fits like a glove, pretty aspected. It's a little bit retro nowadays from the pitch, 23 years old within some of those type pitches, but it's just kind of the format. The only real natch this project is maybe possibly it doesn't have a single, and then which I think might be North North Part 2, and then just the product of just saying that compared. If you like 2000s 3/6 Mafia, it really doesn't have that much of a learning curve. It's just kind of the pitch of just wondering if folks kind of feel like Juicy J doesn't drop it. I mean, it's just for folks that are more fans of sheer lyricism, pitches like that, when you think of Busta Rhymes or when you think of like Nas or some of those type people that are typical more lyricists, Jay-Z, some of those type folks that have that particular conversation, Tribe Called Quest, some of those type folks. But I don't feel like it's anything close to being. This is a classic here. It's just easy enough to kind of say Juicy J nailed it. He just did the pitch. He just threw. He pulled the blistering, kind of carnivorous, and just overall horrific type album out of the hat, and just particularly nailed it on all cylinders. So it's just excellent type pitch. So 10 social. In terms of the feature, I just have to say, in the format of this album, it works for like Elements. This album works for like Elements. It just cruise around some of those type fares, just being amidst the product of like snack runs. There's not as much full-bound kind of snack run type music on this album. I feel like it's kind of here and there, but it's just kind of the pitch. There are some venue type moments, some house party type moments, pitches like that, some cruise runs for just being glazed to tell some of those type formats. Arby's runs some of those type pitches. It's pretty social within a pitch. It's real good type fare within the aspect of it. So it's just kind of the product just getting these. The only thing it just doesn't have is just like a makeshift type song or something breakthrough. But other than that, I'd say maybe like a Pimp and possibly Name It After Me could kind of be that more car commerce type craze. But other than that, it's just that's the only real thing. But still, more or less 10 out of 10 social. In terms of the future, like Juicy J has dropped an album as recent as like the summer of 2024. I realize that it's a jazz rap album, which is kind of strange within the pitch, but I realize there are a number of these. I want to get to The Hustle Continues, the THC album that was supposed to come out in 2014, but it came out in 2020. I'm going to get to that one, see some pitches. Hopefully, Juicy J has not lost his touch since he has a pretty clean sweep of albums. I've given it 10 out of 10 here, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to get to some of these later ones, but this is another classic. Maybe has a mild learning curve, but for the most part, it's pretty vicious in the aspect of what it did. Just another classic 3-6 out of that vein.